Can you see these similarities between the breakdown of the previous system and the breakdown in the current system? But it's much, much bigger this time, because this time we're going full surveillance. We went to a debt-based system here, but it was still on the same dollar system.
Welcome to today's video, where we dive into the world of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, with Lynette Zhang. We'll explore recent updates on CBDC funding, the growing influence of digital currencies globally, and the race for CBDC dominance. Join us as we discuss the differences between retail and wholesale CBDCs, their impact on economies, and gain insights to navigate the evolving financial landscape. So, keep watching this informative video till the end.
Now, first we'll just start with the tracker. This is as of March, and as you can see in the color coding, canceled, research, proof of concept, which is considered an advanced stage, pilot, and launched. So remember, there are links to everything. If you want to keep track of this yourself, you are more than welcome to do so. But according to this, the US, anybody that's in this purple area, and this, that is in advanced stage of research of CBDCs. Now, this is this is from the Bank for International, this is the Atlantic Council. But this is from April 2021, where we had 74 central banks that were looking at CBDCs. This is March, 135. So you can see that it's really growing, and there's only 196 countries in the world. So we're looking at what they want as the future of money, and it's most likely to happen. Our battle is to retain choices and have money that's based on, at least to a degree, on sound money, so that we're not working for air. We're working for inflation. I know we can't stop this, and maybe we shouldn't stop that. I mean, I can see some good things to it. I could just also see some bad things to it. So we have to come together in a global community and say no, and vote with our wallets and have our wealth in sound money, so that we have our options. Because is this really a race for control, which is what the CBDCs are all about? Now, let me show you the key findings. 134 countries and currency unions, 98% of global GDP are exploring CBDCs. 68 countries are in advanced phases. The US is in that category in the pilot. There is a new high of 36 ongoing CBDC pilots, including the digital euro, which is a 2-year preparation stage ending in 2025. The BRICS nation are in pilot phases. Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the UAE are also exploring cross-border wholesale CBDCs, and something just came up on the news about that as well. 19 of the group of G20, so this is the 19th largest economies, 19 of the group of G20 countries are now in the advanced of CBDC development, including Brazil, Japan, India, Australia, South Korea, South Africa, Russia, and Turkey. So it's going pretty quickly now. Progress on retail CBDCs. Okay, retail CBDCs is where you and I would have a direct link with the central bank. Okay, we're retail. Banks are classified as wholesale. Okay, so progress on retail CBDC has stalled in the U.S. There is a widening gap between the U.S. and G7 banks, including the Bank of England and the Bank of Japan. Now, part of that, which we'll talk a little bit more about later, is FTX, what happened with FTX and that collapse, and also what happened at Silicon Valley Bank. That has created, a kind of shift in thought process, but we'll come back to that. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the resulting G7 sanctions response, wholesale CBDC developments have doubled because they would not be counting on an intermediary like SWIFT, which is controlled by the US and therefore distributes those sanctions to whoever we decide we're going to sanction. So yeah, countries are looking to protect themselves, and that's also why you see the largest gold purchases ever in history. They want to retain their independence, and so do you and I. There are currently 13 cross-border wholesale CBDC projects, including M-Bridge, which connects China, Thailand, the UAE, and Hong Kong, and will enter a new phase, expanding to 11 more countries this year. 3 countries have fully launched a CBDC: the Bahamas, Jamaica, and Nigeria. The Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, consisting of 8 countries, halted availability of Dcash due to technical issues. So there are some of those cancellations that we saw. However, they're developing a new pilot. Don't worry, they'll be back for you. In every country with an advanced retail CBDC project, CBDCs are intermediated. In other words, they go through the banks. They're distributed through banks, financial institutions, and payment services provider. China has a direct retail CBDC, and they also have a lot more control over their population, though they're losing some of that control. So that gives me hope on this. As the largest CBDC pilot in the world, China's digital yuan reaches 260 million wallets across 25 cities. In 2024, the pilot is focused on optimizing overseas tourist use and expanding cross-border applications. So can you see how they're spreading? The influence of China is spreading around the globe, and much as the world has been watching how China can control their entire population, regardless of what they may outwardly say, every single central bank and every single government is paying attention to this great experiment. You know, we've watched it fall down a little bit. Let's hope we see more of that. But back to this. PetroChina completes their first international crude oil trade in the digital yuan. So this is cross-border, and there's a lot more of this cross-border. So now they don't have to convert into dollars in order to buy oil, which that was the petrodollar. That's why the U.S. kept its status as the world reserve currency. Now, that's been eroding since 2000. However, having said that, now this is a first cross-border use case, and this is going to it's going to inspire a whole lot more of this experimentation. Globalized, one world central bank. It is so much easier to control if you have one entity making all the decisions. Is that what you want? Because clearly other central banks don't want that. Take a look at the gold buying through 2023 of central banks. Now, here's 1950 to 1965 when the currency was pegged to the dollar, right? That's when that started. Then there was a run in the 60s. There was a run on the US dollar. Here's 1971. You see how different that looks? They brought out the spot market to control your visibility and how you think about gold. And they were selling, leasing. It's so convoluted that nobody really knows how much gold any of the central banks have. But I'd like you to notice that they began to buy gold, not sell as much or lease out as much, in 2005. Do you think they knew that 2008 was coming? Yeah, I think they did. They made these choices to inspire all those risky bets. Gosh, are they making any choices to inspire risky bets now? Yes, all the markets are so overinflated. In 2022, you had the highest level of gold buying, even higher than during that 1950 to 65 period as the system was breaking down. Can you see these similarities between the breakdown of the previous system and the breakdown in the current system? But it's much bigger this time, because this time we're going full surveillance. We went to a debt-based system here, but it was still well, use this, whatever. It was still on the same dollar system.
As we reach the end of today's journey into the realm of central bank digital currencies, we hope you've gained valuable insights and perspectives from our discussion with the brilliant Lynette Zhang. Remember, the world of finance is constantly evolving, and staying informed is your passport to success in this dynamic landscape. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our future explorations. Thank you.